Welcome to Packmates, a podcast about Magic the Gathering Limited, where we take a deep dive into the current limited formats. We're a group of friendly card sharks that love drafting, going to F&M, and going 0-2 in draft.
We did not go 0-2.
Losing in draft. That's our specialty.
Get a gentleman's tie in the last round.
And I'm Robi, the resident 5-color expert.
I'm Andrew, the resident disguise creature expert.
And we're the Packmates. And yeah, so how do we do at F&M this week?
Well, it was a light turnout for the F&M, actually. Yeah,
hardly even fired.
Yeah, it barely fired, and I'm wondering if that's kind of like, shout out to us if that's kind of like what's happening at your local stores. We've been noticing like a little bit of a decline in attendance sometimes. And it's just
because this format sucks. It's not very fun.
It's not very fun.
It's everyone fighting over the same deck and just like, I don't know.
It feels like Boros, it's Boros, right? Like
Boros is the best deck for sure.
Yeah. What is it, like 59% on 1%?
We have it pulled up right here, 59.4. Yep. And it's like at least 3% higher than everything else.
Yeah.
2%. Like basically white's the best color and you want white in your deck or you lose, basically.
I think the white cards are just so deep in this that like even some of the lowest of ranked white cards are actually still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And so it's highly competitive. So we did like a 5-man and it just felt like we just didn't have enough packs to get going. And I think actually that play booster kind of hurts in that like light of a format there.
Just like one last card.
Yeah, one last card might have kept me out of 3 colors, might have kept you out of a 5th color. Well, probably not. But
probably not.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to keep me out.
And so it's just colors. Like last week I kind of like, I don't know. Last week I could have had like a really well-tuned like white green deck. And then I said, you know what? I think I'm just going to play this other deck because it's fun. And I kind of tried that again this week.
With less success?
Less success. Well, the deck looked all right on paper, but it was just like this 3-color pile that had like splashed for a doppelgang.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I got the doppelgang and I was like, this card's ridiculous. It's so good. And so I just had a bunch of fun. We were talking about that Goblin Maskmaker, so I kept thinking about it all week. I was like, Goblin Maskmaker, I got to make this guy good. And so I actually did get a line where I was able to play the Maskmaker on 4, or yeah, it was turn 4, attack with the Maskmaker. They let it through, and then I play like 2 face-down creatures. And I was like, this guy just got extreme value.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I ended up not playing him. I took 1. Yeah, I ended up just playing 5 colors, but it's like the bad 5-color deck where it's like a mono red aggro deck splashing everything.
It wasn't like base green.
It wasn't base green.
I saw that you had 2 of the
I had a shit ton
cases.
of fixes.
Well, you had 2 of the cases, the colorless cases.
I had 2 of those. I had an Evolving Wilds Escape Tunnel. They call it something different in this format. And 2 of the public thoroughfares. So that's like 5 sources, right? Like 5 different sources. But like I was kind of struggling with my lands at certain points for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had Phoenix and it was dumb. I ended up going like 1-2. 1-1-1.
1-1-1.
Yeah,
Me too.
1-1-1.
With the
buy. With the buy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it wasn't very good, but yeah, how do we feel about this format so far? I'm kind of over it.
I'm getting a little fatigued by it already, and it might just be because I was playing quite a few of the RCQs, but actually I kind of like the sealed version of this better than like the draft of this.
I hate the sealed of this.
Really?
Yes, there's too many. This is one of those formats where there's too many rares, right? Like,
well, you get a lot.
That's like it feels way harder to deal with that in sealed, right? I don't know. Maybe I do like it. I don't know.
It felt a little bit more balanced. Like, it feels like the power level of the cards, like in draft, are just so equal. It's hard to get an edge sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel the opposite. Like, there's just cards in draft that are so much better than the other ones. Like, if your opponent plays like any random 2-drop, and then you play like Inside Source as your 3-drop, and you have 2 creatures.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't feel fair. Like, there's too many cards that just make, like, double things. And it just, I don't know. Like, you go so wide, and I don't know.
I just feel sometimes I build, like, a really good deck, and I'm just losing to just random cards.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it hasn't been like that in a lot of sets. And they've really tried to just balance everything out. And maybe it's just so balanced, or just the cards are just all so overpowered a little bit. They all do something. There's no vanilla creatures. There's no nothing.
Yeah. And it's like super complicated, but also in the most boring way possible. Yeah. Like the other day on Arena, I got absolutely blown out by somebody who, they played the, 5-mana 5/5 that flips to destroy an artifact or enchantment.
Oh yeah.
And they had like 8 mana open. They flipped their face down guy. It was that they blew up my what is it called? The due diligence. And then they blocked my 5/5 attacker because it was a 7/7 with that. They blocked my 5/5 attacker, and then they spent 2 mana to exile something, the like golem from their graveyard. They had insidious roots on the battlefield, and that's a plant, and it gets a token. It gets a counter on it. And I'm just like, I hate this format. Like, I genuinely don't understand why it's so unbelievable. Like, there's so much dumb interaction, and like, I hate it. There's too much text on all these cards. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to remember. There's like every card does something unique or something different.
And it's not like in a cool way. It's like too much. It's like fatiguing.
Yeah.
And like most of the cards are just boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's just so many ways to build the decks now too. It's not as easy as it was where you're just like, this is the deck that does this. These cards are bad. It's like, no, you could actually go to more mid-rangey strategy in this. You can go early game if you want.
There are like definitely like super bad cards that you can make playable for sure. Like, and sometimes you just get blown out by bad cards. It's so hard to like evaluate the cards in this format because like they all need like homes and decks that they kind of like belong in. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, I remember before we started this podcast, or before we started this episode, Robi comes in and he's like, when does the new set drop?
And Andrew was like, I just looked it up.
I literally had it up on my computer. You know, we got some screens going on here. And oh, man, I couldn't wait. I was just like, good, it's April. And I was like, that just feels way too long.
Yeah, we still have a whole nother month of this.
Yeah.
It'll probably be fun because we'll probably do the ceremonial Rochester draft.
Yeah, it'd be nice when Ryan's back. Hopefully we can get a Rochester in with everybody.
Yep. R.I.P.
Yeah, that'd be really it'd be really fun to do that. Maybe we'll do a team one because I think there's gonna be some people gone next week. But yeah, it'd be really nice to get that out of the way. And then maybe just do some other stuff. These play boosters just make it feel so different.
Yeah, let's talk about that. How do you feel that the play boosters affect the draft?
I feel like in the draft, it's a lot better than it is in the sealed experience. In sealed experience, you know, you could get multiple rares and just have an insane pool. And it feels really good, right?
Yeah.
But in draft, it's just like, I always see people, and it's kind of fun in that kind of way. You'll see people make the hard choices, and it's like, okay, I've got a mythic and I've got a rare in this pack. Oh,
and then there's a common that I need.
And there's a common that I need. Yeah, exactly. So it's nice to have like a bunch of rares going around. And so it feels good in that way where it's just like more choices. But in the same effect, it's like sometimes you get like choice fatigue as well. And with all the uncommons too, like the uncommons feel extra pushed in this set as well.
Yeah, definitely kind of pushed. Like the rares just kind of like, they just throw. And normally I like that. Normally I like it. Like a perfect example of this is like Mom, which is like one of my favorite draft formats ever. Yeah. And that set's like, I feel like all the things we're accusing this of, kind of Mom definitely did just as much. There was just something about it that just made it more fun. Like the list cards felt more impactful in a fun way. Like it was like, they were like super cool build arounds in that set. And like, it always kind of felt more balanced in a weird way.
Yeah.
hard to explain, but
yeah, losing that extra card kind of. Well, I guess it felt more.
It felt extra bad.
It felt extra bad the day when you're short, man. Yeah, when you're short and you're doing like less people than 8, it feels kind of bad. And you really are like, man, I could have used another common just to like get my deck over the edge here.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have every color of 2-drop there was.
Yeah. But it's nice to like have just more rares flowing in that kind of respect. It's not too bad. But man, sometimes it just feels insurmountable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then the way they've balanced this set out too, with just trying to make everything more playable. I don't know. Like maybe there should just be bad cards sometimes.
There is bad cards, but like I don't know. They're all like kind of I don't know. I would like there to all like every card to be playable. I think that would just be better. But I don't know if that's actually the case, right?
Yeah.
Because some formats I like just genuinely have like super unplayable colors.
Mm-hmm.
Like AFR, where you just can't actually play blue at all.
Yeah.
Like you can play blue cards, but you can't put islands in your deck. Yeah.
It seems like, we look at 17 land data in this set, and sometimes I just feel like that's not even telling the right story sometimes. Like, I feel like the colors are actually even closer than that. I mean, Boros feels a little bit better than the others, but I think for the most part...
It just has better uncommons.
Yeah, right? It just has better slots there, but I feel like some of the other cards are just like, yeah, you can just get a really good black deck some weeks.
Yep, for sure. Even though black has, like, probably the worst stats,
It definitely has the worst stats, and everybody really tries to avoid it, but when everybody's avoiding it, you're just, like, swooping up some really just premium cards and just splashing them into your white decks.
Yeah.
Which Orzhov actually does have a pretty decent win rate.
Yeah, that's like my comfort zone. That's like probably like if I have to pick a deck that like a 2-color deck to play,
I'm going to venture to say it, in those Orzhov decks, I'm sure they're harder white than they are black, and you just pick up the most premium black cards.
Yeah, usually you just use black for like removal and like 1-for-1s. But like all your good 2-for-1s are in white, right?
Yeah.
Like you basically play black specifically for the 1-drop Hound.
Mm-hmm.
The 2-drop, they exile a card from their hand. 2-mana Extract a Confession. The 3-mana, is there murder in this set?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it actual murder?
I believe it is murder. Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The murder, yeah. You play that. And then that's basically all the black cards you run. And the angel, the vampire angel. If
there's no murder in a set, that's missing some flavor.
I'm pretty sure there's murder.
Yeah, there's murder. Yeah.
The vampire angel. I picked one up today. I had one in my mono red aggro deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I like actually read the name of it because I was like, what in the world is this card? I didn't realize it was called Wisp Drinker Vampire. So annoying. Yeah. Yeah. The 2/4 that gains you a life and drains them for 1. And has a weird 7-mana ability that just wins you the game. It gives all your creatures with power 2 or less, death touch and lifelink. You also play Toxin Analysis in that deck too. To like just blow up their board with your random 1/1s that you have, because that's like the biggest creature. The biggest creature in the deck is Wisp Drinker Vampire, basically. Yep.
Oh man.
What's your favorite deck in the format? Like, what's your comfort zone?
My comfort zone? I don't know. I was probably like green something. I've been wanting to do mono green for quite a while.
It's impossible. Everyone's too like that seems like the deck everyone wants to play.
I default to Selesnya quite a bit. That's kind of where I like to be. It's got a good win rate. It's always pretty solid. Yeah. You could easily get you're usually going to get 2 wins with the deck like that. Yeah.
I usually am a Dimir guy. Dimir is, they really destroyed Dimir.
Yeah.
And it's specifically because of Fairy Snoop costing 3 whole mana to flip over, which is so dumb. So dumb. There's no reason why it should cost 3 mana.
Yeah.
What is everyone else? Why can they flip their Dog Walker for 2 mana?
I didn't understand that.
But I can't flip my Fairy Snoop.
Yeah. The card is just too
have
important.
Less attack.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Sleight of hand's too good, man.
that's why that deck's so bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't been impressed.
Oh man.
Never impressed.
So Robi, you're like a pretty good connoisseur of quick draft, right?
Yeah. I love quick draft. And that's another reason why I hate this format. So like I don't understand why Wizards does the arena quick draft schedule the way that they do.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Like we had a week and 2 days.
That was it?
The quick draft. Yeah, of Murders at Karlov Manor. We had to wait like a week and a half for it to even come to quick draft. And it was only there for like a week and 2 days. Not even a full 2 weeks.
Wow.
Like everything else is.
God.
And then we just go back to Wilds of Eldraine.
Yeah, I played some Wild of Eldraine this
I did too.
this afternoon.
But like, why can't it just be on quick draft forever? Like you would just, they would make more money off people. Cause like, I don't think people realize like if the quick drafters are just quick drafters most of the time. Yeah. Like, cause it costs half as much as Premier Draft and takes about 1/10 of the amount of time commitment that Premier Draft does.
Sometimes it's hard, especially on a mobile game like that where you're really on the go most of the time.
Yeah. And you can like quit in the middle of a quick draft. Yeah. I do it all the time. Yeah. Genuinely. Like I'll just get tilted going into pack 3. Just be like, I'll deal with this. I need a night's sleep.
These stupid bots, they're killing me.
Yeah, like
or when your break's up, you're just like, break time. Okay, great. Gotta go back.
Yeah. Yeah, I love being able to be flexible and just like quit a draft right in the middle because I'm upset.
Yeah. I'm wondering, I guess they just try to shepherd you to the Premier drafts.
It doesn't work. It's not like I'm like playing Premier drafts of the new format.
I feel like you have to be so savage in like quick draft to even make it to a Premier draft if you're just like, I'm going to start from quick draft and grind my way up to a Premier draft.
I do it all the
That's
time.
A lot of quick drafts though. You got to win out quite a bit, right?
Yeah, because you only get like, so like you have to, usually the way to do it though, is you save up enough gems to do a quick draft. And then you save up enough gold to do a quick draft.
Oh, so you double up.
So then you can transfer, then you have to go 7 wins with your gold. And then you can play a Premier draft. Which you have to be pretty savage to do that, right? Yeah, I do it all the time.
Robi, you've been pretty good at like reading the bot sometimes in these things.
Yeah, I think black white's the broken bot.
Like just always open.
Yeah, they give you infinite amounts of the extract of confessions and the 2-drop that makes your opponent discard a card. And I also don't think they value the vampire very highly. So you basically just like the strat that I've had the most luck with is just take all the premium white cards and you'll just get the black cards you need. Yeah. So like you just first pick all the premium white cards, like specifically the unicorn and the case that pings for 1 for each creature you have. Yeah. That's omega good in black white because a lot of your creatures have like lifelink and stuff like that, death touch and stuff. You also have toxin analysis too, right? And that's super good. And what other white cards are super good? Inside Source, like basically all of them. Basically,
just all the white cards here.
Except like the Phantoms, right?
So do you Phantoms just, like as a strategy, do you just like pick all the white cards and then just try to fill what other color you're going to be as the draft goes on?
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
But I've like surprisingly, like I don't do very well with Boros in this format.
Really?
Like I don't think I've gotten more than like 3. I guess I've had like maybe 1 deck where I just had like all the busted rares and stuff. But like I can't do Boros without the rares. Like I haven't had good luck. Even like having a bunch of premium uncommons, I still like just kind of struggle with it in this format.
Yeah.
But like black white, I don't need a single rare, and I've just figured it out. Right. I've just like. It just feels like Boros, like I can never get Boros to get me there. Like I always just get them super close to dying.
Yeah.
And then they stabilize and kill me. I've had a hard time like reaching with Boros.
when you're in your queues for the quick draft, do you see some kind of trends of your opponents where they're just always like, I'm going to force Boros? Do you see like a lot of Boros players, or is it kind of a mixed bag?
It's kind of a mixed bag for the most part. I think you do see a lot of white decks for sure. Like basically every combination of white usually is one. And I also see a lot of Gruul, but I usually don't struggle too bad against the Gruul people. But yeah, Boros too all the time. Just basically white decks.
Yeah, I dabbled in a little quick draft in this set, and I just was really hard forcing like Boros all the time. And it was pretty good. It was just I would always be losing to just these powerhouse rares.
Usually that's what beats Boros. Yeah, it's not usually me and that or black white kind of. Black white has pretty good reach against Boros. Like just being able to like the vampire gaining you a bunch of life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy's good just on his own, just sitting there.
Yeah. Like they don't really have the removal to deal with it in a meaningful way. Yeah. They either have to play like the premium white removal, which is so hard to get in this set. Like it's easier in quick draft, but yeah.
I feel like the lifelink creatures in this set are they really help out quite a bit more. Just that incidental 1 or 2 life.
Yeah,
that they
it's
give
so
you.
Dumb.
It really makes a difference in a set.
It's so dumb that like the ridiculous aggro decks, like Boros gets the most life gain, the most card draw. Yeah. Like it's so stupid. Like I just don't get it.
There's been so many games won just by gaining an incidental 2 or 3 life in this format, more so than a lot of the ones, because everybody's just so aggressive. It's just about like who's the real beatdown.
Or when they gain 10 life, like my opponent did to me today.
Oh yeah, pump spells are real, right?
yeah. Apparently.
If I had a nickel for every time I got beat by that green case that puts 2+1/+1 counters on something,
it's really good.
I know it's good, but it feels so bad.
It does feel weird, but it's so good. Like that alone is like enough to like make a 3-mana card playable. Like people play Airtight Alibi, which is like worse than that. Which is like legit worse than that. And then that flips so easy too. Yeah. Like it's so trivial to get 8 power on the battlefield, right? Like you play like 2 of the person of interest, and that's 8 power right there. Yeah. Like it's so dumb. That card's crazy. I've always thought it was good. It just
I never
like
really gave it its day, but every time I see it, I've always just like, if I can't outrace it or I don't have enough removal to get rid of the guys, then it actually starts taking over the game.
Yeah, because like the only way that the red white decks beat the green decks is by like just racing them and assuming that you're able to like expend your weakest creatures to chump block, which that card makes it impossible to chump block. Because it gives something trample.
Yeah.
Which is what makes it
That's why the green spell that gives +3/+3 and trample is just actually really strong in this format.
I got blown out by it tonight.
Yeah. It's the trample in this set seems to be pretty powerful.
Because it's so easy to gum up the board in this set.
Yeah, you were talking about almost all the premium creatures like
make
inside.
2 things,
they make 2 things. And so the boards get really gummy.
Yeah, there's just like random trash creatures everywhere.
Yeah, and then people are more than willing to just like everything, cost 3. And so everybody's just willing to disguise everything and start trading disguised creatures. And just like eventually, like it's just a game of chicken. It's just like, I'm going to attack you for 2. Tank for like 5 minutes. And then they let it in.
And that's like literally the most important decision of the entire game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, do I block with my 2/2, my face down 2/2? Do I block their face down 2/2? And whether or not I choose to or not, like that decision will lose me the game.
Yeah.
Like it's so, which makes an absolute garbage format, in my opinion. like it shouldn't be that serious. Like it really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I'll be in the tank for like 5 minutes, like thinking, well, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this. And yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, we said it a couple episodes ago, but sequencing in this set is just so much more important than it has been in a lot of sets, just because there's so much velocity with the cards that you have that are face down. Everything costs 3. The pump spells are actually stronger almost than removal in this set at this point.
I ended up legitimately losing a game tonight because I played a land. I played a red land, and then I cracked a clue, and I drew the black land that I needed to stabilize and win.
Oh,
and like,
feels bad.
That's a trash format. It's not even my fault. The format's bad. like, oh my gosh.
I mean, in honesty, you're probably playing 5 colors though, right?
Yeah, for sure. Right? Like, I need to be a more experienced 5-color player and not.
Yeah, it's just like playing to your one out of like
the one black card, the one swamp I need to play the black card in my hand and not die.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm not crazy about it.
I don't know. We'll give it another couple weeks, right?
Yeah, maybe that'll for sure make us like it better. Just playing the format that we're over, over and over and over again. Yeah, that
I hit fatigue a lot faster in this set than I have in a long time. But I really do think it was just because
I hit it pretty hard in the last set for sure.
Did you?
Yep.
I kind of dug the last set. It was fine.
Yeah, it was Andrew's
Lost Caverns were a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm over it. But so, what do we have for our superfecta this week, Andrew?
The superfecta this week are favorite TV shows.
Hell yeah!
All right.
I don't really watch that much TV. I'll just go ahead and plug the greatest TV show. And like, if you're doing something right now, stop doing it and just go watch a show because it's literally my favorite show of all time. And it's so good. Joe Pera Talks With You.
Joe Pera Talks With You. 3
seasons. They're all amazing.
Really?
All amazing. Yeah, it's genuinely my favorite show I've ever seen.
Is it like a scripted show? Or
yeah, it's hard to explain. It's like an Adult Swim show that's like weirdly sincere. Like it's just wholesome. It's just like weirdly out of place on Adult Swim. They ended up canceling it after 3 seasons, but it's super ridiculously dry humor. But it's my favorite show ever.
I'll go with one of the best, Game of Thrones.
I've never actually watched
it's so good. That first season just hooks you. And you're just like, well, I'm yours for the rest of the thing. Let's just marathon this all the way through.
All right, I got one. I'm a huge Euphoria head.
Oh,
I love Euphoria. I love it. It's so good.
Oh man.
Yeah, I love Euphoria.
Everybody's just getting too famous for that show now.
It's so good. Have you watched it?
Yeah, I love it. It's
super good. Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah.
Let's see. One of my favorite ones is it was on USA a long time ago, but it got wildly popular just in the last couple of years. Suits.
Huh. I haven't actually watched it.
It's a law drama about this guy who he's kind of got a photographic memory photographic memory. So anything he reads, he's able just to remember. And so in the very first thing, he's been like taking the bar for people. And so he gets into this law firm having not graduated from Harvard or whatever. And so it's just like kind of his adventures with this really charismatic lawyer kind of showing him the ropes. And so it's a really cool show. It's got all the way through. It's got Meghan Markle in it.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's tight. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Of British royalty fame. And it's tight. It's really good. It's got a ton of seasons, but it's just like got super, super popular.
Huh.
And it's been off the air for goodness gracious, probably like 5 years, and it just got wildly popular. Yeah.
All right. For my next one, I'm gonna go with a classic. Or do I want to really actually pick a classic, or do I just want to pick some trash thing? All right, I'm just gonna pick some absolute garbage.
Okay.
What is this show called? Okay. It's I love it. I watch it with my girlfriend all the time. It's huge. Absolutely ridiculous. You have to like, I don't think it's like very easy to find. I think you have to have like either a hacked Fire Stick to like pick up British cable.
Ooh.
To watch. They have this dating show called Naked Attraction.
Oh.
It's full nudity. Okay, yeah. It's like full nudity.
Yeah.
It's a dating show. And it's so funny.
It's pretty good.
Super hysterical. It's like worth all the effort that you have to go through to actually watch it. It's so funny, and yeah, I love it.
I see a lot of YouTube reviewers talking about that show all the time.
Dude,
there's a lot of clips from it. It's
dude, the announcer lady is like super funny.
Yeah,
like she's so like quippy and British, right? Like it's so good, genuinely. Like it's like shockingly funny.
Oh man,
for what it is, and it's kind of tight that they just have that on like basic cable in England. There's like no age restrictions.
Oh yeah, of
they're
course,
just like legit.
They don't care.
Yeah,
yeah, they've gotten past all that.
Yeah, which we haven't here, right? Like, yeah.
Oh man, let's see.
I think it's called Naked Attraction. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the OG, but mainly because like my parents really like watching this, and I think it's just so cute that they'll just still watch it together after all these years. Is Survivor.
I remember watching like the first season.
I loved it when it first came out. I was like, holy crap, how are they gonna survive out there?
Yeah,
I will say the first season they went kind of hard though, because they were like literally didn't give them as many supplies as they do now. Now it's just like kind of like let's go build them like coconut something, like they have so much stuff that they can bring.
It was kind of ridiculous. They let that one guy just be naked all the time. That was like the best thing about that show. Like the OG first season was there was just a naked guy the whole time. They just had to blur him out the entire show. Right?
They didn't build shelters very well, so they were just sitting in the rain, like without shelters, because they didn't have like the proper tools to build things.
that first season was so funny that there was just like literally a naked guy the entire time.
Actually, one of the better shows too that's kind of in that same vein is Alone.
Yeah, I've watched
that.
That
stuff is that's.
I like how there's like a meta to that. I've like,
oh yeah,
my brother watches that, and we grew up like very much like doing survival stuff, like Boy Scouts and all that stuff. And like, there's definitely like a meta because you get to take like a certain amount of items, and like, I bet like everyone who wins brings probably the exact same items.
I think now there is like they basically, from what my friends really got into this for a while, and they were
I like deep dove.
Yeah, they deep dove into it, and so basically they give you like a store of things, and so they'll take you to a room and they'll be like, okay, you get 6 items off this table, and you get to choose, and then it's just like, okay, Flint, like
like you either have to you have to have like fire, right? But like it's super interesting because like the entire strat is to just like get as fat as possible. You want to bulk up before you get on the show because they pull you out once you like reach a certain weight, and you'll just eventually reach that weight because like there's no way to stay like as big as you are once you because like there's not very many sources of fat.
Did you see the season where the guy survived like 100+ days?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he like, could have survived longer. They just pulled him out. They were just like, all right, you're good to go. He was like, I'm ready to just go to full winter, boys.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That dude was nuts.
I think I know which one you're talking about. Is it the guy who like moved his shelter out onto the ice to?
No,
that dude was crazy.
No, this guy.
I think that guy won because he did that, and like, which is super ridiculously dangerous, but also like he could just sit there and fish in his house. Right? like which is how he like kept from losing a bunch of weight.
Oh man,
just eating fish all day long.
Oh like, no, this guy took down a muskox like.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was crazy.
And he was literally lived off that the entire season and just outlasted everybody.
Yeah,
and they just kind of knocked on his door. I mean, he was like full hermited in.
Yeah, cool. You just like need to not do anything.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so Survivor / Alone, I guess at this point.
Is that your last one?
No, I just put / on that because I really did like it. We clearly enjoyed that show as well.
All right, my last one. I'm just gonna shout out a show I watched recently that I kind of really enjoyed.
Ooh, nice.
It's called Made. I like it.
Made?
It was on Netflix. I thought that was done very well about domestic violence.
Oh, dang.
Great. Great show. Domestic violence.
Oh,
just No, it's good. It's a good show.
Oh, man.
I liked it.
One of my newer ones that I've been really into was...
Actually, scratch that. I also need to shout out my favorite show of all time.
Oh, please.
Other than Joe Pera, Food Party.
Food Party.
Food Party. It was like an IFC show for like 2 years.
Oh, nice.
And it's just puppets, and it's really weird, and I love that show. Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, I've been really liking Masters of the Air. It's on Apple TV, and it's basically like Band of Brothers, except
that sounds like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh no!
When you just said, what was it called again?
Masters of the Air.
All I could think of was Avatar: The Last Airbender. I wasn't expecting Band of Brothers.
Oh yeah, no, it's
funny.
really good. It's pretty neat. They really did a good job with it. They have Austin Butler, the guy who was like Elvis in the Elvis movie, and just it's incredible. Like the fight scenes when they're in the B-52 bombers, like just bombing over France is just super nuts. It's like, whoa, holy cow,
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's a really cool show. I've really enjoyed
Masters of the Airbending.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it called again?
Masters of the Air.
Masters of the Air. No,
Yeah.
Masters of Airbending.
Masters of Airbending. That show's coming too, I guess, right? Aren't they doing a new
I don't know.
I think on Netflix is having it pretty soon.
A new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah, there you go. No. I think they're just trying to capitalize because they did One Piece, and One Piece was like a sensation.
Yeah, that show was pretty good though.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it too, man.
Yeah, I like watch it as a kid, and I thought that live action was pretty decent.
They did a really good job.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like I wasn't mad about it. I don't really understand Luffy's accent. That kind of makes zero sense to me, but yeah.
Whatever. It's fine.
Right?
It was fine. They did everybody really well. They made Dracula Mihawk look like a freaking
it's sweet.
G.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I thought he'd be like in real life, and I thought it was really cool. They did him very well.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I definitely liked it. Yep.
It was good.
So is that all we got this week?
That's all we got.
All right. Sounds good. Bye. Do you need to say bye?
Bye. I forgot
Joel's
my line.
The one without a sign out.
I forgot my line.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. See you guys.